After a decade living in France, we've finally finished filming our list of the 20 places that will completely change how you see this country. You won't see a single thing about Paris because we are only going to show you spots that separate the tourists from the travelers. So let's jump right into it. Starting in the stunning region of Alsace, we have villages so colorful and perfectly preserved that they feel like they're straight out of a fairy tale. From the canal waterways to the Hansel and Gretel style villages, Alsace feels like you've gone to a completely different country. And in a way, you have, since this region has passed between France and Germany 4 times in the last 150 years. It's also home to over 1,400 nesting pairs of storks that you'll hear squawking from the rooftops. It's truly an unbelievable place, and that's why it's our number 20. You're gonna want to pack a canoe for this one. At number 19, we have L'Ardèche, home of the Pont d'Arc, the largest natural arch in France. It stands at 177 feet tall and weighs more than 20 Eiffel Towers, creating the backdrop for one of the most unforgettable river adventures you can have in Europe. This valley is also home to the oldest cave paintings ever found on Earth, making L'Ardèche definitely a must-see in the south of France. At 18 are the Mediterranean fjords of the Calanques National Park. At over 20 miles long, this is the only national park in Europe that includes land, sea, and city, stretching right into Marseille. The cliffs tower up to 1,300 feet, and the water is so clear that you can see all the way to the bottom with up to 150 feet of visibility. If you only have time to do one hike on the coast of the Mediterranean, this is definitely where you should do it. At 17, we've got the Venice of the Alps, Annecy. It's home of the largest of the glacial lakes in France and the medieval Palais de Lille, which sits right in the middle of the canals. This city also hosts the largest animation festival in the world, and it's the perfect spot to stuff your guts with raclette and fondue. This is a city that is truly one of a kind, and you will not find another place quite like this anywhere else on Earth. For 16, we've got the Cotentin coast in Normandy. The bay here is home to the world's fastest tides, which have been recorded at speeds of up to 25 miles per hour. This powerful current brings in massive amounts of nutrients, which is why Normandy is the largest producer of oysters in France. The peninsula has an end-of-the-world vibe that is capped off by the 246-foot-tall Gatteville Lighthouse. It's a great place to cross the English Channel. Even the Titanic made its final stop here, letting off 22 passengers before, well, you know. Tucked away on the French Riviera at number 15, we have Menton. This city is known as the lemon capital of the Mediterranean, and its unique microclimate gives it an average of 316 days of sunshine per year. It's the most colorful town in France outside of Alsace, sitting right at the base of the Alps where they meet the sea. This unique location gives it some of the most picturesque beaches on the entire Mediterranean coast, and it's just a stone's throw away from Italy, which is the perfect excuse to go stock up on cheap Italian cheese and wine. At number 14, we're back on the Normandy coast at Étretat, famous for its incredible white cliffs that make the White Cliffs of Dover look like child's play. This stretch of coastline has some of the most legendary viewpoints on the English Channel, and if you want to experience them at their best, you've got to come here at sunset. There's even a golf course up at the top that shares the ridiculous views. Thankfully, they didn't build all the way to the edge, otherwise there would be no path where you could go test your fear of heights. We're going to a country within a country at number 13, Monaco. With a GDP of $234,000 per person, the city-state is officially the richest country in the world. 1 in 3 residents are millionaires, which means the streets are literally littered in supercars and the harbors are packed with mega yachts. Monaco is so rich that they just added 3% more land to the entire country with their Maritara expansion project. Monaco even claims that there is no unemployment or poverty here, and after just a couple hours, it's hard to doubt that. Home to one of the most notorious casinos in the world and a Triple Crown F1 race, Monaco is legendary on another level. At number 12, we're taking a step back in time. The D-Day landing sites are by far the biggest landmarks of the war, and the American cemetery is easily the most impressive. This 172-acre cemetery is home to the graves of over 9,300 American soldiers, and it stands as a testament to the sacrifice made on these beaches. We always prefer to go see happier things, but a visit here is one of the most humbling experiences you can have in France when you are mindful of the sheer craziness that happened here in the 40s. At number 11, we have the Gorges du Verdon, one of Europe's most spectacular canyons. You can hike a good chunk of the places on this list, but the canyon trails here are unparalleled anywhere else in Europe. The canyon finishes by producing a stream of turquoise water that flows into the Lac Sainte-Croix, giving the Ardèche a run for its money as the most beautiful kayaking spot in France. You'll find vultures circling the cliff's edges at sunrise and sunset, and the scenic roads here are, in my opinion, the most beautiful in France. We stayed a week longer than planned because when you find free camping spots like this, it is hard to leave. Getting into the top 10, we're back in the breathtaking French Alps at the Parc National des Écrins. This park is absolutely massive, covering over 227,000 acres, and its tallest peak soars over 13,450 feet into the sky. Whether it's on groomed runs up Les Deux Alpes or hiking up the glaciers to ski down, the Parc National des Écrins is the last place in Europe to offer 365 days of skiing. At number 9, we're in the Luberon, which is by far the most vibrant area in all of Provence and home to some of the most beautiful villages in the country. The village of Guérande was awarded the title of Most Beautiful Village in the World of 2023, but if you really want to see an explosion of color, you have to go to the nearby village of Roussillon. This place is home of the largest ochre deposit in all of Europe, and the mining industry here once produced over 17 different shades of reds, yellows, and oranges. When you see it from above, it is very easy to see why it is nicknamed the Colorado Provençal. At number 8, we have Guérande, which is home to one of the strangest landscapes you will ever see. The salt marshes here have been divided into grids, and the different stages of the hand harvesting process give every square a slightly different shade than its neighbor. With twisting and winding roads that barely have enough room for 2 cars to pass, this is a perfect spot to test your nerve driving on roads with no shoulder and a wet consequence for error. Over 12,000 tons of sea salt is harvested by hand here every year, and it's all done without any mechanical assistance. Coming in at number 7, we have the 4 villages of the Dordogne River. France actually has an association of beautiful villages that was creatively called Les Plus Beaux Villages de France, which is comprised of 176 villages, and there is nowhere else in the country that has a higher concentration of them than here. On the Dordogne River, there is a place where you can see 4 of them from one single viewpoint, making this region easily the best spot for people in the market to go village hopping. But the draw isn't just the fact that there are loads of them, it's that most of them are as ridiculously beautiful as this. We're visiting the historic city of Saint-Malo for number 6, which is home to the legendary pool that disappears twice a day. You may recognize it by now from our viral short and the thumbnail for this video. The monster tides here completely bury this pool twice a day, which means whoever built this should be teaching a masterclass on pool building. This fortified city was built as a fortress to withstand pirate attacks, and today is a hot spot for people to come enjoy Brittany's epic specialties and freeze their asses off in its legendary pool. Next, we have a place that is as much an experience as it is a destination. Coming in at number 5, it's the legendary wine region of Bordeaux, home to the picturesque village of Saint-Emilion. This is the largest fine wine producing region in the world, home to over 6,000 different producers, all working under a strict classification system that has been around since 1855. Saint-Emilion was the first wine region in the world to be granted a UNESCO World Heritage Site status, And the classification system here is so rigorous that it's revised every 10 years to ensure the wine is still up to snuff. If you're in the market to drink a wine that's as old as your great-grandmother that costs the price of a brand new 4-bedroom home, then you definitely don't want to miss doing a wine tour here. Number 4 is the Pont de Mion, which is one of the most jaw-dropping bridges you will ever see. This thing is over 1.5 miles long, but that's not what makes it so special. When it was completed, it was the tallest bridge in the world, the highest pier a full 1,125 feet in the air, making it taller than the Eiffel Tower. The bridge deck alone weighs nearly 4 times that of the Eiffel Tower, and it is a wet dream for base jumpers and daredevils who, despite it being illegal, will always find a way to do something gnarly here. Alright, let's get into the final 3. At number 3, we've got another world record holder, the Aiguille du Midi. This cable car holds the world record for the highest vertical ascent, taking you from just over 3,000 feet up to a staggering 12,605. In just under 30 minutes, you go from the valley floor up to this dramatic peak where you get a 360-degree view of the French, Swiss, and Italian Alps. This is the most titanic viewpoint you can enjoy in all of Europe, and there is loads to explore up here. It's even the jump-off point to climb the Mont Blanc, which is the tallest mountain in the continent. It ain't cheap, but every single euro is well worth it. Number 2, we have the most underrated place on this list, the region of La Camargue. It's home to a legendary fortified village built by a king that guards a pink lake. It's also home of the world's second largest marina with 5,000 parking spots, but the real headliner here are the 50,000 flamingos that share the region with a breed of wild white horses. Narrow strips of beach have locked-in water, creating lagoons that are the perfect habitat for these animals to thrive. There is a super limited amount of international tourists that visit here, but this is an absolute legend amongst the French. We've now blown the whistle. Go visit the flamingos. They are here 365 days of the year. Capping off this list at number 1, this is what 500 years of craftsmanship looks like. This is the jaw-dropping legendary island fortress of Le Mont Saint-Michel. Sure, France has a Disneyland, but here I cannot shake the feeling like you're inside a real-life version of the intro to a Disney movie. The only place that the English couldn't conquer during the 100-Year War that almost unbelievably never surrendered during a 30-year siege, this is by far one of the most legendary islands in the entire world. The tides here are among the largest on the planet and can rise by over 50 feet. They are so fast that you can literally see them with the naked eye at a walking pace, coming in at over 3 feet per second. If you had to choose only one of these places to visit, which one would it be? And we also want to know what you guys think we missed. Let us know down in the comments below. A huge thanks for watching and supporting us here at Planet Lens. Now get out there, because adventures don't happen at home.